This is my post-fight video for Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia. As I said, I've been keep saying to you boxing fans from the moment this fight was announced, I believed that it would not have been favourable for Lamont Peterson to win the fight on points. I believe that Danny Garcia, being one of Al Haymon's cash cows, to keep Danny Garcia undefeated and push him towards greater honours later on in the welterweight division would make far much more money than him getting beaten by Lamont Peterson. And tonight, that's just what you've seen. In the early rounds, I believe Lamont Peterson boxed beautifully on the outside. Some people consider it running. I wouldn't consider it running at all. Using a jab, touching Danny from body to head, landing good right hands over the top and occasionally the left hook. In the early rounds, Lamont Peterson, as you could see, was tentative because he was aware of the left hook of Danny Garcia. But he knew in the second half of the fight was where Danny Garcia tends to fade. And if you watch a lot of the shots Danny Garcia was landing, they were on the gloves. Peterson was catching a lot of shots on the gloves. When Peterson was landing, they were hitting Garcia flush on the chin. And even the shots that Garcia was landing with the right hands, a lot of the times Peterson was rolling his head away. And the question's got to be asked here: if is a fight like that, the fact that Peterson is a skilled boxer, I mean, because he doesn't stand in there and go banging toe to toe for 12 rounds, is that going to be a bias in the future because he doesn't stand in? These guys have got lots of skill. The reason why guys stand toe to toe is because they lack the skill. They stand toe to toe because they lack skill and they don't have the upper body movement. They don't have the boxing skills or the IQ to be able to get on the jab and move. It's not because they're better boxers, because they stand in and decide to give the face and take shots and hold shots like a goalkeeper. Instead, they've got boxing ability, and I believe people need to kind of appreciate fighters like Lamont Peterson, who are the complete package, whereas Danny Garcia, once again, at top level, has been exposed as a left hooker, and that's what he is, a left hooker. Flat-footed left hooker. And that's what he is. Once you give Danny Garcia movement and you can box, which you saw tonight, he has to then rely on the god Al Haymon to get him out of a situation. So once again, Al Haymon has got Danny Garcia out of a tight spot. His dad can talk all he wants, all the rubbish he wants. At the end of the day, if you want to score it, the first half for Garcia, if you want to score it that way, then fine. The second half of the fight, Lamont Peterson took the fight to Garcia, put him on his back foot, and when Garcia was put on his back foot, he didn't quite know what to do. So, for me, if they fight again, I'd give it to Lamont Peterson. I think Lamont Peterson will start faster. I don't see how Garcia knocks Peterson out at any time because of the movement. His hands are way slower. I think that Peterson saw the punches at all the times, and that's why he was able to stand in the pocket and throw the shots that he could. So my feeling is, I'm not surprised that Danny Garcia has won this fight, and I say won with inverted commas, won. And for those who don't know what inverted commas is, it's like the two little marks, mini ones, and then the one, and then the two little mini marks afterwards. Say he didn't. I don't think he won the fight. Very highly debatable, controversial decision. I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking you have to knock Danny Garcia out to get a draw. Because tonight I believe that the least Lamont Peterson could have had was a draw. They tried everything which way to get that belt off of Lamont Peterson, and again, so it looks like if Lamont Peterson couldn't get the knockout and he couldn't get the fight on points, then they steal the fight off him. So that's exactly it. Lamont Peterson boxed beautifully, and what sort of a world is it coming to now where a guy boxes beautifully and still loses the fight in the judges' scorecard? As far as I'm concerned, the worst you could have scored that fight was a draw, because the first 6 you could give to Garcia if you want to. Second half of the fight you give to, from 6 onwards, you give to Lamont Peterson. So the fight's a draw. So the first guy scored it 114, a draw. But that does nobody any favours. Most of all, Al Haymon, because he's trying to keep the fighters in-house. So commiserations to Lamont Peterson, who I believe won that fight. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out.